G'day folks, it's your boy Tomko Chan here once again. We are sitting today on Dueling Book. I had a locals last night, another online locals, because we still can't attend locals here in Australia just yet, which is a shame. But nonetheless, we had an online locals that was good at Next Level Gaming in Ormond. Did host this event once more, and they did a stellar job as per usual. Had a fun night. Didn't go spectacular again. I was just trying out Salamangreat. I'm pretty comfortable with the deck. That's why I chose to play it this time. I'm intending to work on my PK build a bit more before I actually play it competitively at this point. See what we can do before the next set Phantom Rage comes out. And yeah, just thought I'd show you one of my replays last night. This was a very interesting one against a deck that had a bit of spice to it. It was Dogmatika Eldlich and Dragon Link to a degree in it as well. Had some Rokket cards sitting in there too, so quite an interesting replay. Let's jump into it, guys. Alright guys, so here's the replay here. As you can see, he's playing 43 cards, so that's got to be some spice for sure. Let's jump into it. I believe we were chatting on Discord after this. Originally it was just in the chat here, but we had a Discord going for the server, which was good. Alright, so I'm going to be going first. I'm going to start off with the effect of Lady Debug to search our one and only Gazelle. I think this card could honestly go to 2 at this point. Salamangreat has been power crept to a ridiculous degree, so I don't think it's much of a threat anymore if it came back to 2. Same with Circle. I think Circle could come back to 2 to reflect what's happening in the OCG also. But as you can see here, we're going to send the Jaguar because my hand is pretty full of negates already. I didn't think that I would need to send the Rage for the extra negate. I just wanted to add the Gazelle back to hand, so that's what we're going to do here. We're going to go into our second Bailing, so we're going to set our 3 back row and fire off our Desires, hoping to get some hand traps here. Unfortunately not, we hit another Desires. Always happens to me, but it is what it is. Moving on to his turn, he's going to start off with a Pot of Extravagance. I don't really know what he's playing here, but I don't want him to have that pretty much free +2, so I do negate it. He'll go into Eldland, search, and then send one of our back rows to the grave. And this is where it gets interesting with the Rokket Tracer. So the Rokket Tracer comes down onto the field, and he's going to use the Eldlich effect, sending his Conquistador to summon it again after adding it to hand, so that it can't be destroyed by card effect. Something very good against Salamangreat. And then he's going to activate the Rokket Tracer here, sending his Cursed Eldland. Now I'll show you why this is interesting next. He's going to summon out his Rokket Recharger. And then after that, he's going to go into this card, the Chaos Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon. Now this is very interesting tech in this build, and you're going to see why. He's going to activate his effect here to mill, which is really good for the Eldlich strategy, as well as having the ability to add a light monster from his grave to his hand, which is going to be the Fleur-de-Lis. Again, you know, really putting on some decent beat sticks on the field versus my basically nothing. No attack on my guys whatsoever. So he's going to attack here. He's going to use effect to gain 500. I'm going to cop it. I'm going to get rid of the Balinks in grave. Lose the Sunlight Wolf, as well as losing this second Balinks here. Unfortunately, he sets 1 back row, and then during his end phase, he's going to banish 2 to set another 2 back row on his field. Looking pretty good for him. These guys are big. Hard to get past. Alright, so we're going to shoot off a Mining here. He's got no response to that. We're going to search for our Buffalo, summon our Buffalo, go into our Balinks, and Chain Link effectively here. Actually, no Chain Link. We already got the Sanctuary on the field. So we're going to activate our Gazelle here. We're going to send Rage because he's got that much back row. Luckily, I saved the impermanence for this Hikero, which means it is actually stuck on the field. It can't summon, which means it's just kind of stuck there, not doing much. We're going to summon our Jaguar. Also our Spinny. We've got enough monsters in grave to really go off here. Into our Sunlight Wolf. Into a second one so that we can activate the effect to get Rage back to hand. Some good follow-up plays for next turn. Here we're going to attempt to go into our access code combo with the update jammer, and he is going to see that's going to happen and pop us with a Conquistador. That pretty much ends our turn. Unfortunately, I can't attack over anything because this has got 1800 defense. And during the end phase, I believe he's going to use the Scarlet Tanguine to get another beat stick. which at this point he doesn't even need to go into the Blackbuster Soldier, but he does regardless. It's pretty much going to seal the deal. The Rage is going to be good, popping a couple of cards, but the Eldlich is just going to be able to come back, unfortunately, and I'm just going to scoop it there. Too much, too young in that one. So, moving on to game 2 here. I chose to go first in game 2. Obviously, that's mainly what Salamangreat does. It can go second. It plays enough hand traps that it's not an issue. Here I cop the Ash. We're going to go into our Balinks and then summon our Parallel Exceed as Chainlink 2, allowing us to search off the Balinks. Then we're going to attempt to summon off the Exceed. He's got another hand trap for us. It's a Veiler. So we're going to have to see what we get off the Desires here. And it's not too bad. I mean, an Ash Blossom's a good draw off the Desires. We're going to go into our Sunlight Wolf here, and we're going to set our 1 back row and pass. It's not going to be a very intimidating board, but it might do the trick. He's going to summon his Ecclesia here, special. I'm going to hit that with the Impermanence. I think it's a good target for sure, and he's just going to set the 3 back row and pass. Alrighty, so going into our Lady Debug, searching for our Gazelle here. We're then going to shoot off our Sunlight Wolf for another one so that we can summon our Parallel Exceed and also our Gazelle. They're both going to get summoned. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure, let me just check. I'm pretty sure I banished another Exceed here. Yeah, I did, so I couldn't summon another one, unfortunately. It would have been good if I could. I'll send the Roar here off Gazelle and then attempt to use Sunlight Wolf effect to add the Roar. He's going to chain his Kera and the Conquistador. And the Eldlich, sorry, I'm going to negate the Eldlich with Ash so that he can't pop anything. That's going to allow me to add the Roar here. And then I'm going to link off into Heat Leo to shoot his back row away. And from here we go into the Update Jam. Oh, combo. What a great combo. OTK. Nice and easy when you know they got nothing left on the field. We're going to go into our Access Code. It's going to gain 3,000. This is such a good card. Very underrated still. And it's going to pop 1, going to pop 2, and we're going to attack twice for game. No dramas there. Going into our game 3 now. Let's see what we get here. Alright, so I'm going second in this one. Obviously, he does want to go first to set up some negates of some variety. He's going to start off with a quick launch. Yeah, very cool tech in this deck. I reckon he's going to shoot that off for a Striker Dragon. Effective Striker Dragon is going to cop my Impermanence here. But he does have the Nadir Servant to back it up. So he's going to get his Ecclesia, and then during the end phase, he's obviously going to get his Search of the Fluid Delay after adding the Dogmatika Punishment here. So, decent amount of negates already, decent amount of interruptions for this deck. It can play through. We're going to attempt to mining here. He's going to Ash it, unfortunately. So we had a hand trap as well. We had 2 hand traps. That's another Veiler. I was copping those all night. Lady Debug into the Balinks. Balinks effect is going to get the Sanctuary. Then we're going to shoot off another Desires and pray for the best. And what do we get here? We get another Desires standard. And nothing else we can use. Can't use the Foxy at this point. Balinks into Balinks for a tiny bit of protection. Set this as a bluff. And he's kind of going to take the bait here. He's going to Entis above the Balinks to pop the Balinks. Chose not to save it here because you could just pop it with Entis regardless. And he's going to use his Entis to pop our Pot of Desires. He's going to put this into attack mode. He's got another Nadir Servant. Looking very good for him, to be honest. He sends this to the graveyard. On resolution, I'm actually going to choose to Lancier here so that he can't banish 2 to special summon the big boy. Too much of a beast stick for me to handle. He's going to summon the Ecclesia now, which is going to allow him to get a search there. And he's going to special summon the Dogmatika Fleur-de-Lis. And at this point, I have nothing. He's got exactly 8k on board with the attack boost from the Dogmatika Fleur-de-Lis, and that's going to be all she wrote. Unfortunately, that's game. But it was a very exciting one, nonetheless. It was pretty fun to play Salamangreat again. I haven't played it for a while. I think it's a fun, like really good, really consistent deck. Bit of an all-rounder. It can fit most formats these days, which is pretty good. And yeah, I thought I'd have a bit of fun with it and have a go of it last night, and unfortunately didn't walk away with the win. But it was a very interesting build of the Dogmatika, Rokket Eldlich deck. I think it fired off pretty well. The Chaos Ruler, the Synchro, was quite a good inclusion. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw it a bit more in the future, happening in a few other decks. But yeah, that was very cool and very exciting. Thank you guys so very much for watching the video. As always, If you want to see more of this content or you want to see some deck profiles, all the stuff that I do, I'm going to be testing out an OCG deck for my next video. One I saw floating around on one of the websites, YGO Organization. I'm going to be checking that one out next, so be sure to stay subscribed, click the subscribe and the like button, and let me know down in the comments what you thought of this deck and this duel, and we'll see you next time for the next one. Cheers, guys.